Do whatever you want, as long as you make it go.
The following is an interview conducted by Floyd O'Neill with Oran Curry, made at
Oran F. Curry.
Oran F. Curry, made at Neola, Utah, July the 20th, 1967. Mr. Curry, where were you born?
Near Oran, Utah.
When?
May 2nd, 92.
In 92?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My goodness. Then that would make you 75 years old now.
Yeah.
I see.
75.
Yeah. 75 now. Who was your father?
Oran Curry.
I see. I understand the Curry family in Oran were traders there.
At the early days, yeah.
I see. Were they the family who established that trading post there?
I think so. There were brothers that came there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know whether there were two. I just remember the two, but one came later.
Mm-hmm.
It was my father and L.W. Curry, older than my father.
Uh-huh.
They came there. They were first traders that built that. I believe I got a small boy then. I remember.
Where did they come from? Which state? Do you remember?
Kentucky.
Oh, they were from Kentucky.
Harrisburg, Kentucky.
I see. I noticed that the Calvert family that used to run the trading post at White Rocks were also from Kentucky. Did you know that family?
I knew them folks, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they were from the same town in Kentucky.
I didn't know that, but I knew that my folks were back from Harrisburg.
We're back from, they're back there, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
In the early days, what little I know, of course, being a small boy at the time, didn't know too much of the history, just as I grew up, that my father's folks were wealthy people. They were adventurers, these men. My father and his brother, and it seemed like there were three, but I just recall two. I recall the third one coming in a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you about when they died as go along. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they settled in there. So I have, or Rex has a history on that.
Oh, I see. I'll ask him about it.
Yeah, it's published in Provo.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Way back, pictures of our old home there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whole story about it.
Oh, yeah.
I had mine, but mislaid it somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
And he has, I think, and every one of my children had the publication of that.
Oh, I see. The family history, huh?
Yeah.
Who was your... I see.
In the back, squaw man that originally brought in a squaw man. That's what that was more about, was the squaw man, right? When that show developed here.
Mm-hmm. Who was your mother? What was her name?
Motach.
Motach.
M-O-T-O-T-S. That's the way it's pronounced, so Motach. But that's the way it's written.
I see. Motach, but spelled Motat, huh?
Yeah.
She was Uncompahgre?
Yeah.
I see. Did she speak English?
Some, I suppose, living with a white man,
But I understand, according to the older Indians down there, that your father spoke Ute as well as he could speak English.
You know, I guess it did, because I was small.
He lived with them for so long, huh?
Yeah.
Do you know which year your father came here?
What year?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I believe that
History was having.
Publication, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll look it up there. Do you remember when they used to? Have the government issue at Oran?
As far back as 1926, I helped the issue right into White Rock.
Is that right?
Yes, it did. Every Saturday.
Saturday was issue day, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
Beef issue and ration. I don't remember how many years, but that was part of my duty when I got to be on the range work, to take care of that feeding of this group up here.
Mm-hmm. I see. Did you ever help with the issue down to Oran?
No, I was working up here.
I see.
But down there, when I was down there, I was just monkeying around, just living there.
Just a kid, huh?
Yeah.
I see. When did you go to work for the government?
1926.
I see. And when did you retire?
1954.
Long time.
Yeah.
38 years, huh? 28 years.
Yeah. It was a little more than that, but they didn't give me all of the years. I ended in about 1920, I believe, but there were a few years that I worked at just the ordinary labor job of stuff, but I was in the service, but I didn't get connected up with them until 1926, actually got on the.
Oh, I see. So that actually you worked for the government probably close to 35 years, huh?
Yeah.
My goodness. When you worked for them before you were in the, what did you do? Work for the forest?
Before I entered in there, I was a policeman.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. For a few years, and just on police. Those days, they didn't have much of just to take care of the kids who went to school about, no drinking. What do you think of that?
No drinking then?
No drinking. I can remember.
God.
We didn't have any of that trouble. Only kids running away from school.
You go and try and gather them up, huh?
Yeah.
Sort of a truant officer, huh? Well, that's very interesting.
A few years.
That's when the boarding school was operating over to White Rocks, huh?
Yeah. That just closed just a few years ago.
Yes. Who was principal when you were over there? Do you remember?
Over here?
Yeah.
I never did go to school.
Mm-hmm. Where did you go to school?
Ranelette.
I see.
I think that closed 1905. I went to that school and opening a reservation 1905. I went away to school from there. I'd been there till I was about 14, I guess. Went to that boarding school.
Ranelette. Yeah. Where did you go when you left Ranelette boarding school?
Haskell.
Oh, you went to Haskell.
I stayed there about 4 years.
4 years. And that ended your education with 4 years at Haskell, huh?
Yeah.
Did you take any other education besides Haskell?
No, that's all.
I see. How old were you when you left Haskell?
About 18.
Mm-hmm. When did you get married?
Shortly after I got home, 18 or 19.
Whom did you marry? What was your wife's name?
Della Harris.
Della Harris. Was she an Indian person?
She was half.
Half. Same as you.
We went away. She had been to Haskell before, and when she came out, I went back with her. She came home a year before I did. She was sick. When I come home, went with her again, got married.
I see.
More or less took me back to school. Yeah, I lived with them. My folks died. My father died way back. It's kind of a sad story, that part. I stayed here, and my father got in a kind of a trouble. That's liquor trouble.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that.
You know, those days, the penalty for giving Indian drink was pretty hard.
Yeah.
1 year or $500 or both.
Mm-hmm.
And my father was, I guess he was one of them, was guilty of doing that. And he claimed that he was just his friends. He wasn't making anything out of it. It's just friendly friends that he was drinking with some Indian friends, some of his friends. Nevertheless, he violated the laws. He had to go. I remember that part. I don't remember what year that was, but that broke up our home.
Mm-hmm.
And he was ordered from us, I can remember that, not to return back to the reservation, as well as whether he served 1 year in the pen. No, I don't know. I lost track of him then. The family. He married away from home then. My mother and him had been separated during the year that he was gone, you know.
Huh. That's too bad. When you, pardon me, go ahead.
Yeah, funny thing is that the life that the people lived and the way they did those days was more simple than they are today.
Right.
You could do lots of things and never hurt anybody, and you get along so easily that you could. Today you'd find it difficult to do those very things that you did those days and get along.
Yeah.
You can't get along hardly nowadays. Everything seems to be ironclad laws, this.
Yeah.
You got to observe all of them, whether it's good or bad, to get along. Those my days, you know, we didn't hardly know what law was when I grew up. But you see it today.
Yeah, very different. So that you lived first at Oran and then at Randlett, where you went to school. Did your mother remarry after your father left the reservation?
Let me see. Yes, but I can't recall what year that was and how long after.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't.
To whom was she married after your father?
A fellow named Yaga Mountain Chief.
Yaga Mountain Chief. Uh-huh. When did your mother die? Do you remember?
1903 or up.
1903.
I
Way
believe,
back there.
I believe maybe to 1905. It's close to the opening of reservation.
I see. I see.
Yeah, way back.
For heaven's sakes. That is a long time.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Almost 60 years. Goodness.
Yeah, we lived down Oran, and up on the river, about 6 or 7 miles, there were ranches all along the river bottom from Randlett down to Oran. Not on that flat, but down the river. Indian ranches and farms. You used to have a irrigation in there. A lot of the Indians done a little farming, and they had nice little homes, and they had this irrigation project that took care of their water.
Mm-hmm.
And someday, if you ever go down there, I'd like to go down and see that country. Of course, it hasn't been farmed for many years now. My father built a home up there about 6 miles, maybe a little further, up the river on one of the a part of a lot that belonged to one of my relatives, some old folks. And my mother and them built this first frame house. It was built there. Because, of course, I had the money, you know.
Yeah.
My father had the money. He didn't run that store because he needed to make it because they were from wealthy people. They had money to do things with. They had interest in that one of the banks, Old Taverno. I think it's that corner bank. Can't recall now. Anyway, that's way back, you know. And my father had that house built there. We lived up there part of the time when he was running the store. And I can, as I recall, after we got in trouble, we still lived up there. Little ways from that, where we had our house, was my great aunt, old lady. She was the one owned that land where we had this here. It's called a Sarawak place today. And they lived close there. The neighbors around it. You know, as I can look back those days, I can see those Indians. They didn't live apart too far. They more or less grouped. But they seemed to get along so good that they raised little garden, vegetables, great for watermelons. I remember little bits of watermelon, little sweet ones. I remember when I was a boy, we used to, bunch of us kids, go out and make a raid on some. And they raised their corn. They didn't have to raise in the hay too much, but what they did was handle down the Oran. Now my father used to buy the hay, grain, everything that they had to sell. It's just about 6 or 7 miles down the road. That house caught on fire, that frame house was doing it. I don't recall what year. I wasn't there then, but...
Where is it from the old Abbott place? You know where Captain Abbott...
It's way down.
Down even further than that?
Further, about... It's about 6 or 7 miles down the river.
Go on down, right? That'd be pretty close to Oran then, huh?
Yeah. It's about 6 miles, 7 miles this side of Oran.
I see.
Way down there, they used to have a big open places down there, a river allotments they call it, and they were running pretty good farms in there, quite large. There was one place on this side that had log cabins. They built those log houses for Indians early days.
Oh yes.
2 rooms, and they buried an Indian in there. His name was Egerson. Alec Egerson. No, it wasn't Alec, but they said Egerson. I know. When he died, they buried him in that house. And the farmer at that time was named Hugh Owens. And they dug him out later, and he had petrified in the rock. This man, this Indian did. And they took him somewhere, I can't recall now, but they moved him out. They petrified him. Isn't that funny?
That's funny.
It's funny, yeah. Yeah, and he said, I never got to see him. His hair was still on him. I remembered the man, because a neighbor to us, possibly 1.5 miles when we lived on the river. No, it's a strange thing. Years back, the Indians farmed down along the river, and they issued rations once a week to them, just not to. I've sat on the corrals, and they go down there and they shoot those beeves and take what they want. They didn't hang them up like they did over here when I worked over there. We used to kill them over here Friday and hang them up and take them to that great big warehouse up there. Beef house, they call it. Down there, they'd kill them that day, same day, take what they want, and they issued flour and bacon. I think the old house still sits down there, old red house, granary. They used to go down every Saturday, Fridays, and they kill beeves Friday evening, and Saturdays they issued out. Not the beef, but because they would go in there and help themselves. What that wanted to kill those beefs, those men that go in there. Yeah, and of course they had a fellow to kind of oversee the job. They took what they want and go.
Nearly everybody who lived down there were uncompadres, huh? Nearly everybody who lived down there were
a few white rivers.
A few white rivers. Do you remember the names of any of the white rivers who lived down there? What were they?
Colorados.
Well, the Colorados lived down there.
Yeah.
Any others you can think of?
Jinks, I believe.
Well, the Jenks family are,
yeah.
They're white
You
rivers.
know Lon Jinks?
I just met him. He's
Yeah.
the one who lives up to Bottle Hollow?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his folks are white rivers.
Well, they were white rivers. I see. Nearly all the rest were uncompadre, huh?
They lived down there with them, and I guess they always did over, more or less after make a massacre,
Mm-hmm.
They, I don't know. I used to have quite a history of that. Captain Bonin had, but I don't know, I never done with it. I think belonged to history back, history of the Indians.
You say Captain Bonin wrote this?
Huh?
Did Captain Bonin write this?
No. Come in here, I'll show you his picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd love to see his picture.
That's him like that. I lived with them. This is his wife.
Who was she?
She was a Sioux woman.
Oh, a Sioux.
Both of them were Sioux.
Oh, Bonin was Sioux.
She taught school here, and she was a clerk in Terminated.
I see. He was a captain, huh?
That's my little granddaughter.
That's Richard. Oh.
Morley and Carter.
Whose daughter was she?
Elizabeth, one that got killed in Carter. Yeah. And that little girl down, they live down along the road, you notice?
Yeah,
You want to stop down and see them.
I'll do that.
This little girl, she's so smart. She's about 4 years old. She come here one time after her grandmother had died. And she died a year ago on 18th. And then she come to Dr. Marshall Grandma. She danced in that little girl. See how she's fine. What are you doing? Morning. Give me her name too. Oh, I was just looking at Molly, just laughing out because her grandma's up heaven. Here's my daughter-in-law, look.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. That's the little boy, they lost his boy.
Oh, I see. This is Richard's stuff.
I just said, so here's the Bible. It's been here. Right, you're right. Yeah, that was in school. I figured out. After the Captain Bond, he was a tell you quite a story about it.
All right.
I lived with him after my mother died, off and on.
You lived with Captain Bonham.
Yeah.
Now, he was living where? At Rangelette?
No.
Or Fort Duchesne?
Fort Duchesne.
And you lived
With them off and on.
I see. And sort of helped you out to get through school and so on. Huh?
Yeah.
When did Captain Bonham leave this country?
Before the First World War.
Just before, huh?
Yeah, before, because he went into the service there when First World War.
I see.
He was working for the tribe then.
Oh, not for the government, huh? It was for the tribe.
Just the tribe.
I see.
And he was an acting agent. He hadn't his law education accomplished at that time, hadn't yet, you know. Before he went to the same school that I did, high school, but he finished in early days. That was commercial school or normal school, whichever one you wanted to take if you, and then you could go to Kansas University from there, you know, join in. And he graduated from high school way back 19-something. And his wife graduated from Boston Conservatory of Music College in the East. Early days. Yeah, she was lecturer, that woman was. Miss Bond. And they, I don't recall her. They worked up around White Rocks. I think she taught school up there at the boarding school. And he was a clerk. My father-in-law used to be a clerk there too, Henry Harris.
I see.
And
now Henry Harris, was Henry Harris part Indian?
Yeah, but she wasn't from this tribe. He was a Paiute. I
see.
But adopted into the tribe.
I see.
He was from Nixon, or around down Stewart, Nevada.
I see. Your wife then was part Paiute. What else?
Part Shoshone.
Then she wasn't Ute.
Yeah.
I see. She was part Ute too.
Part.
Who was her mother?
Mary Harris. Mary Reed Harris.
Oh, I see. Mary Reed Harris. So she was part of the Reed family.
Yeah.
Now they were part French trapper, weren't they? Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm beginning to get the picture now.
They came from, this Reed family come from over Fort Bridger. And her father, the father of Reed, this Margaret Reed was her name. She was baptized by, it's claimed by Brigham Young in early days.
I see.
And there's quite I think a history Don Rex may have, someone has. But anyway, somehow the White Rivers that used to roam up here, roam more over towards Fort Bridger, you know, and they were very friendly with those Shoshones in that. They were not on the war parties. You see, they are friendly people, so they traveled back and forth. But I don't recall of Captain Bonner's story. He studied, made research. He said he didn't recall the Shoshones coming over to White Rivers that he could recall enough research. But these White Rivers used to go over there to go visit and do trading over White River, over Fort Bridger.
What did they take over to Fort Bridger to trade?
I suppose it's buckskins.
Mainly buckskins.
Just about, I guess. They wouldn't have much, would they?
Maybe beaver?
Maybe. You know, I have never known trappers. You read about them being trappers, but I never could find why they entered in as the trappers, because they already done the trading around for what the other people thought. They had no means of trapping beavers, you see. But I read once in a while where they used to trading their beaver pelts, but I don't believe it did. They did buckskins. Mm-hmm. I know they're tan buckskin.
Yeah, I know that.
And they, in those days, over the mountain was Fort Bridger, where they done quite a bit of trading. Why I say this is a strange thing that where Mrs. Harris comes in. I'm going to relate that why I'm bringing that more to prove that there are those perhaps between, where they come together, where they don't.
Mm-hmm.
In Mrs. Harris's father was supposed to have been a White River. Mm-hmm. And my wife, of course, knew them being a party to those people. Her grandma's father, whose name was in Indian, Doris. That means black eye in Ute. And there was, he had two names, this man did. The proof was that the language and name that they had given him were the Ute words. You see, was not Shoshone words, but Ute words. That meant black eye in Ute. And Avisuk, which that means whistling something. I don't know. It doesn't. I can't quite. I've tried to. Her and I have tried to explain what that Avisuk, which that means a whistling some. Either laying down whistling or some. But it's a Ute word. It showed. You see that was that man's name. That was the father of Marguerite, and the mother was Shoshone woman.
I see.
That's why they were not white. You see, they were Indian, but different.
Different tribes.
Yeah.
That's
they got along very good over there to these White Rivers. Now I'm going to tell you why I say this too. Back in history, old Japanese, I guess you've heard of him, old man Japanese.
Very much.
Yeah. He told me one time he used to be council member when I was a committee member back in '37. And he was, and I was well acquainted with that old man, because I can talk the language. I'm one mixed blood that really understands it, because it's raised blood. Mm-hmm. You don't hardly ever see mixed blood that can talk it. Just understand a few words here. Mm-hmm. They're sidetracked their language, taking English language. It's been too bad, too. That's what my boy Dick said. Dad, you just dropped that too quick. He said, you should have talked Indian instead of English all the time. Only one out of my 5 children I understand that was Elizabeth. She went to boarding school up there in order to learn to talk English, Indian.
Oh.
And she was only one of my children who could understand talking. But others understand a little, well, naturally, just to drift now and then, but understand a little bit, but not. And this so happened, one time, we were sitting in front of the old courthouse over there. We went over there, and I wish I could remember what year I might be able to find my records. we went over to sign contract for Captain Bonnet when we hired him. The committee went over there.
To Vernal?
Yeah. Instead of going to Salt Lake, we went over there. While we were sitting outside, the old man, he was a distant relative of my grandfather. This old Japanese were they. My grandfather, which must have been part White River too, see, to be, he claimed or related to different of the members. I'll tell you there later. And the old man Japanese said, you know, years ago, he said, we were sitting out waiting for the to go upstairs to do our paperwork. The office wasn't open yet. He was telling about way back. He said, you know, years ago, he said, when I was a young man, he said, when I was a boy, young man, I was raised down in this country. This Vernal, he said, I remember coming in here when there was only one family lived up in the draw. And he said, I believe that was that your mother-in-law, great mother-in-law. I met Maggie Reed, you see.
Oh, yeah.
They were, and he called old Jim Reed by their Indian name. I can't remember now. The Indians used to call him by his Indian name. He's got a peculiar name, but that's what they knew him by. They recognized him more like a member of the tribe because he was been with them so much, I suppose, and he lived right up around White Rock till he got to be an old man. And Japanese talking about this year Vernal, he said, only had one family way up draw, no white people. And you know, he said, there were so many sage hens. If a flock of sage hens flew up, they scared another bunch. And by gosh, pretty soon it looked like a cloud of dust. That many sage hens in the basin here, he said, in the Vernal. Just think, it isn't no grass that tall. Game in here.
Grass 3 feet high.
And he said, us, young man, I've been through this week quite a few times. One of the trips I made, he said, I'm going to tell you. I went through, if we could ever dig that out, when the Mormon people and the Indians were fighting down there. Rockers, I believe they call it, a man by the name of Chief Walker. You know? Walker, that's his name, but his name is Rockers, that means yellow. But they call him Walker. And he was, while he was sitting there, he said, I come through here one time. When I was a boy, he said, come with my father. That was the year Rocker was having trouble with the Mormon people. And we come through here. We went through over the Rock Creek Pass. He called that by Indian name. Down into where this year Rocker had asked for him to come. He was asking for help. That's what these White Rivers doing there. We're going over to help. And when we got down there, of course, I didn't understand the names of the place where they went to. All I know just he was down towards Provo or something. And he said, when we got there, they had settled their trouble. So we stayed there and later come back. That's what he's telling me when he said, this country The person could not but imagine it. He was there when there's only one family, he said. That's that old, I take it for Jimmy Reed, that old man that had that in this woman. My wife used to could tell a lot of stories because she's connected. I'm just mine a second-handed. She went, I've heard her say a different one, but I knew the old Grandpa Reed. Knew him personally. And the old grandma, the old lady lived with us before she died. Margaret Reed, the old lady.
Tell me about the trappers. Was old Jim Reed, the old man, was he a trapper?
I don't.
You don't know him?
No, I don't.
Trader, maybe, huh?
Later years, I do know this, that he run cattle over in Wyoming. But that could have been later years. He was a pretty wealthy man one time. He had a lot of cattle in there. And I gathered that from my wife. He said the old man used to have saloons in Green River. That's when that was kind of wild town. And they owned lots of cattle over in that country. Yeah, my wife, of course, being connected with the family, knew about just what little I know, what I'm telling you, but I knew those folks. You see, I had a book, maybe I can get it for you someday, tells the story of the basin in here. Early days, who were here, who owned this country. Maybe Rick's got one of those magazines. I got it. The name of the publisher from him. And I bought it in Salt Lake, and I gave it to my son-in-law down in Gallup. It reports on that this reservation was not a reservation that belonged to the Utes, but Comanches. What do you think of that? Comanches from Oklahoma.
Never heard of it, have you?
Yeah. They talk the same language we do.
Is that right?
So some way, they had connection here, somewhere.
Right.
They're more like a Shoshonian group. It's a Comanche, they're classified with them.
I see.
And,
Language, huh?
Yeah. And they were in here early days. Evidently, the Shoshones were here, and the Utes. This history. It reports on that this was not Ute reservation, but those people were in here even before the Utes were here. I don't remember now who by. Rex may have the book, but I give mine away. I think I paid $7 for it at Salt Lake. It's just quite a history way back. Not only here, but Indian history. But that part in their way told about us. I was more interested to see who lived here, how they come to be here. Yeah, and I let him have it. I don't know where he's got it now. When they talk about, Comanches, I don't understand the Shoshone too much, a little bit. But my wife was more or less raised by this old Grandma Reed. This Margaret Reed, she more or less raised her. And she didn't talk English much. Talked Shoshone language. She didn't talk Ute.
I see.
And my wife, of course, talked it then. She talked Ute too and talked Shoshone. But being around with him, I understood a little bit of the language. But she was Shoshone, but her father was supposed to have been a white girl. That's the one I tell you. It's supposed to have been his black eye. Don't mean black, it's a purple eye.
bruised.
Yeah, bruised, yeah.
76.
Old Japanese always said nice. When he was a boy, he was an old man. He died over about 90 again. But anyway, he was a said man. He said, just think, this town in here now. Sage here, and he said, there's so many now that fly today. One group would fly up, and another bunch would scare them, and that fly was telling you just, looked like clouds. That many, he said, sage here. And I forgot, he said, it's known that for the people to kill those Indian squaws, the kids, take a club and kill them, and just take their front,
breast,
and dry them. That meant.
Oh, I see. They are good food, aren't they?
Yeah. When I first started work on the range in 1926, up here, John Straw Flat, over there, there's sage heads, hundreds. You don't see them.
Is that right?
Kill them all.
Yeah.
Some means you get rid of them.
Do you remember the old government sawmills that were established here?
One up on the bench, up in the John Straw Flat, the ranger station there now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the ranger station, but game warden station. That's right on the flat. You been up there?
Yeah, I've driven across there. It's been quite a few years since I was up there.
Well, it's the one that sits up there. It's not the other one, ranger station, down off in Dry Gulch. That's where I used to stay.
Oh, I see.
But then,
what did they cut all that timber for, Mr. Curry? What did they do with all that lumber? Built the Indian houses out of it, maybe?
some of them. Never was too much up there. That part, they never had too much timber in there. What little they did cut, I guess. Way back before I worked in there, they had a sawmill up in the canyon up here. You in the canyon? That is before my time. Before I worked.
You can't ever remember it being there, huh? I see.
But I do remember that over here. Fella Dixon was a sawyer up here, when on the flat here, and he used to go way up there all the time.
Haul it down to the mill. Wouldn't it have been easier to move the sawmill up higher?
I guess people don't find the easiest way of doing things.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe they needed it down where they had water to run the boiler.
Maybe.
It was steam, wasn't
yeah,
it?
they had a good spring down.
Oh,
there.
I see. I see.
And later years, when I first went into the forestry service, that was one of my quarters. They were just a sawmill station, and they abandoned it, and we took over. Had nice corrals, and he moved out. They closed that, and
You lived up there, huh?
yeah, for a while. Till they built that one over in Dry Gulch.
When you worked on the range up there, did you work for the Forest Service or did you work for the tribe?
Tribe.
I see.
Well, for the government, but for the tribe, not the forest.
Not the forest, then.
Indian forest, I guess you might call it.
Yeah. You worked through the agency?
Yeah.
I see.
They were my boss. I'm going to show you. I got a little bag right here.
Okay.
What kind of a bag we use?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. The Indian Forest
different
Service.
from the other end.
Yeah, quite a bit different.
Yeah, because it's tanned on it.
Teepee, isn't it?
Yeah.
teepee and pine tree.
I kept that.
Well, that's very pretty. You should, too. That's very pretty. Very pretty.
If I could find my, wait, sit still. Maybe I can. I'm a poor guy that put things away and remember. I always do things to. I only have a very secret place to put things that I think somebody takes care of for me. See Jesus up there?
Yes.
Whatever I don't want to lose, I put it back.
Back behind the picture.
That.
That's pretty
and
good.
I generally find it.
I see.
I have metal. I believe it's back here. If it isn't, I don't know where it is. My metal that I got with this here when I retired, 54.
Oh, I see.
I'll go see if I can find it. That maybe that old guy might have kept that. You know, I want to tell you a funny deal. In the life that people live, like maybe I live my own way, but my living might be peculiar to somebody else, not acquainted with my method of living. See, nevertheless, I'm satisfied. I'm living that when I think I'm trying to live good life the way that I see it.
Sure.
And one day, I don't remember, I don't know why, I in deep thought and sorrow, and I looked up there, and that is a light up. You'll see it some days when that's in there. That light was where I could see it, just like it. I was sitting there looking at it. Just coming there to. I wondered if that was it. I'd been thinking about him this way.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little while after I lost my wife, that light came up there. Don't see it all the time. You can't see it now, but I did that time when I looked up there. You see that light where he's sitting there looking towards.
Hmm.
Now it's over on that little bed. And for quite a while I could see it. Don't see it anymore because don't think that deep now. It is because I think my thoughts were so deep that had answered to it. And that's one reason I put my thing that he's my trusty man at making. That is one time that something happened that spiritually it answered what I was thinking about.
Sure.
Sometimes when I feel bad, go in there, feel like I don't always get to the point where you don't follow your religion like you should. Things don't work like you should for you. Then you begin to lose your feelings of falling up, your push up there. You just begin to want to not necessarily mean forget about it, but you make misstep, don't do what you should, and you wake up sometimes, why didn't I do this? Why did I? No, I'm just telling you because that my wife kept this for me, and that other, and I've had that, but I could get it. I have that medal, I believe it's back there.
That's a beautiful memento.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thing. Tell me, with the religion of the Indians here, I take it that your family are Mormon? Because you mentioned your wife's people were baptized by Brigham Young. Did they remain Mormon?
Yeah.
I see.
Most of them, I think.
I see. And your family is Mormon?
No, my father and them, I don't know what.
You don't know which religion they were. I mean your sons.
Well, yeah. Rex and some of them belong to Elizabeth. She belonged to the White Rock Church. What they call that? The Ranelagh Church?
Oh, the Episcopal Church?
Yeah.
Oh, she was an Episcopalian.
Yeah.
I see. Your wife was Mormon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever join one of the churches?
Yeah, I've joined the Mormon Church.
I see. Uh-huh. Your daughter, who was the Episcopalian daughter, she was the one who was killed in the car wreck? I see. What about most of the Indians? In the early days, to which church did they belong, when those who belonged to a church?
Well, most of them that belonged to it down there, we had a church down Ranelagh way back, that old little one. That's how they belonged to join that church and went up to White Rock. I don't recall that too much of White Rock, but down there I do, because that's where I lived.
Sure.
I went to that church and I belonged to one of the, what do you call it, you carry that.
You were an altar boy, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
Till I went away to school.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember any of the old, way back, who was priest down there to the Ranelagh Church?
Hershey.
Hershey. I see.
He's the only one I can remember.
What about the ladies who came there who were missionaries? Do you remember the missionary ladies of the Episcopal Church?
Just one.
What was her name?
There used to be a lady called Lucy. Elizabeth Lucy. I can't read. And then there was one that died a few years ago that lived in California and raised one of those Reed boys. John, you know Bill Reed?
Know who he is?
Huh?
I know who he is.
His brother. This woman raised his brother when Bill and then his mother died.
Oh, yes.
And she's, I'm trying to think of her name. Canfield.
Oh, Canfield. Is she still alive?
No. She died a few years ago. She raised this here boy. His name was Johnny Reed.
Is he still alive?
No. Quite a musician, this guy was. Good singer, good piano player. I think he got to drinking after his mother died. They lived down on Long Beach. I've been down to that place. He was singing a nightclub there for a while. He was drinking it. I hear he got bad. Died.
For heaven's sakes.
Yeah, he's drinking too much. Died. So he used to work down at the agency.
Mm-hmm. Did John Reed have any children?
No. This young John Reed didn't. But there was another John Reed that older.
Mm-hmm. I see. He worked for the agency for a while.
Yeah.
Same time when you were working there?
Yeah. I believe so. His school, he was college educated. He had that good school. My boy Dick worked with him.
Oh, yes.
And Dick said, you know, that was the shrewdest clerk he ever saw. He said, that John Reed, he said. He was sure shrewd.
Exactly.
A lot of the points of clerical system that I gathered from him, he said. You related to him, no? His cousin.
Sure, through his mother.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Dick Ziegler, he was quite a... He sung in the nightclubs. I guess that's where I get to drink, them places.
Oh, yeah.
He had a wonderful voice at that time. I never did hear him, but I knew he was quite a piano player. He had a good education. They could take him down. I guess it takes anybody down that follow through that end.
What did they used to call that church? You remember the name of it down there? Did they call it? Yeah, did they call it Holy Spirit? Was that the name of the church?
I don't remember.
St. Anne? Do you remember where the St. Anne church was? Did you ever hear it called St. Anne's?
No.
Don't know, huh? Just the church, huh?
Yeah, just the church. Yeah, my sister, half-sister, you know her, Elise Bowenny?
Oh, is she related to you?
My half-sister.
Is that right? Same father or same mother?
Same father.
Same father. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I met her daughter, Mrs. Box. Yeah, I know who you're referring to. She would know the history of that church, huh?
Yeah.
Is she an Episcopalian?
Yeah, they still go to church, those folks down there.
I see. Same old church. Do you remember when that church was built?
No, I don't. But I used to march in there, carry what they call, before I went away. It was built long before I went away to school.
Is that right? And you went away...
1908.
You went away in 1908 and it had been built a long time then,
1905. Just before opening a reservation.
So that it was there before then, huh?
Yeah.
It's too bad the rectory burned up down there and with the records in it.
It's too bad they even moved that old church over on
Oh, you think that's too bad too? Oh, dreadful idea to move that church. Such a pretty place there, and right by the cemetery.
I belong to the Mormon church, but there's others that have always respected that over there. They should have had that right to it. It just rests. Their bodies are over there, and this was their home.
Sure.
I have some relatives, my grandfathers and grandmothers over there in that grave.
Oh, in the Episcopal Cemetery there. Yeah.
And they moved that over, and I felt so bad over it because I used to belong to it. Well, in the sense that I still feel that feeling for those people. My sister and all them still there. I don't begrudge it because I belong to some other church. They have right to be there, and I just hate to think that they moved that way and let over the bodies that they came there to in the respect of the rest there that should have been their home, left alone.
Left alone, yeah. Everybody I've talked to among the older people, Mr. Curry, are very sad that they moved that church.
I know it.
I
don't know why some of us that knew it looked like it was done with the people having very little knowledge of it. I didn't know it until it was done. Well, then it was too late then. And one of the things was the respect that that old man, that old preacher that used, an awful good man too. What's his name now?
The man here now, is it Captain Roberts who is here now?
No, he was here then.
Oh, Green.
Yeah.
Father Green was the one
I don't know why. Everybody liked him, loved him, and why would they do things like
It's only a couple of blocks that they moved the church.
Yeah.
But it wasn't hard to get over there to that church.
No.
They had a footbridge and a road.
I'm going to tell you one thing. My wife and I talked about it because we belong to another church. It don't make any difference. when you don't go to church, what difference it makes what church you belong to if you don't go any church? Footbridge cross over there and then leave the cars over there.
Well, I understand they did have a good footbridge across there from what the pickups were telling me and so on. Yeah, it's too bad to lose that sight.
That's always will be the sad thing of the memories. It's good.
Well, I guess they were trying to build a community around that new recreation center and so on they had up there.
Yeah, that old Francis built that big old brick house.
Yeah.
He's Catholic, I believe Francis was, but I don't know.
Now this is Francis McKinley?
Yeah. I will tell you one time. I don't want this to go
on the tape?
Yeah.
I'll turn the tape.
Always been a sad thing on account of it. We didn't follow it, but we should have been there. I'm going to talk to you about the first programming on these reservations. The first meeting we had to start to let the people know we had this big money. I'm going to talk to you on that because it's always been a sad deal when I look back to think that we miscued or we didn't take it advantage. We didn't get out and do things, the younger group, like we should try to protect what we had and work to the advantage where it would bring us something instead of just coming take, waiting for this money. That meeting we held down at the Ranelette when we found out we had this $17 million almost available. Out of the $31 million, I have records of them. I'll give them to you one of these days to look at, to keep records of the money that came, the amount, and different. Something that'll be helpful on research work. And I appreciate it. He said, we held a meeting around like a long building there. Francis McKinley and John Victor called meeting. I think it was John Victor. But anyway, it was among the first meetings we were to have to discuss what we should do on that setting up our long-range program. And I remember Francis mentioned that we had about $17 million available, will be available, and he explained it to him in Indian way. But what we got to do is to find a way of setting up a program best to use on the reservation, because Congress is not just going to go out and say, here, I'll give you this money. You've got to show what programming that you're going to have in order to get this money, because Congress is not to just come out and hand you money. Well, he said it in such a way that was very unbecoming to me, because it's just like saying, here, what the heck are you going to do unless you follow it this way? See? Well, he wants them to know that they just couldn't get that money. It's not yours. It's unless you set up your programming and show what you're going to do. That was okay. Well, who else wants to talk? Nobody wants to talk, because I sat there and I felt like it. Got money and still can't talk about it. Had interest in it. That's the way the most of Indians feel, though. Well, that meeting was called so sudden anyway, there didn't give them long enough time to let them know that they're going to have such a meeting as that. But he just wanted to get talking. I went down with Coney Denver, my nephew. He was going to school, I think, at BY at that time. And on our way down, he made a few little remarks. What should be done with the money, he said. Yeah, I only got one thing in my mind. There's nothing else. The money we get to be taken away from the government and put in the treasury of the United States to draw interest. And let us live off the interest. We get enough money out of that to do us, so we won't have to go begging around for money. He said, we got enough money coming. He said, that's the way I would want the money set up. Put in Treasury United States, draw interest, we get the interest, whatever interest we get for upkeep to the agency and whatnot, needs of the Indians, we'd use that. So when we got down there, nobody get up there. It seemed like what Francis said. I don't know what he said it in a way to cause them to feel that way or what, I don't know, but nobody got up. Nobody spoke. And Coney, he got up and raised his hand. Francis said, Coney, he said, I didn't have a very long time to think about this, just thought of it as I was coming along. He said, well, I made a little talk on him. He said, this is what I would like to suggest. Since there's a families that needs money, homes, some have homes, some landless Indians, why couldn't we do this? Set up $5,000 for every family, head of the family. Set that up. In that, we do it through the office, through help. Set up enough money for those who want to go into cattle business, buy stock. Those who want to go in the farm, that they're homeless, to buy a land from some of the other members. Well, he had it programmed in his head. Now, it is going along. What ought to be done? His hurried thing wasn't all completed, but it was still what he was saying was, this is what I had in mind among the things. $5,000 allowed to each family. Buy livestock, maybe horses, work horses, farming equipment, homes. Then the rest will put it in the Treasury of the United States, and then whatever interest comes out of that, we use that for whatever we need to. But let us first try our wings, he said. $5,000 to help us with that. See, maybe that would help us. Give us the start. Farming, livestock. So we got plenty of range. He made a good talk, of course. He's educated man. And gosh, he based his talk on taking the money away from the government because they squandered. Indian Bureau is what he meant, not so much the government, but put it in a bank and we draw the interest. Well, Francis, he got up. He didn't. Nobody seemed to understand. He was talking English. Someone interpreted part of it. But Coney didn't talk English. He doesn't understand it. And if it had been interpreted in Indian to them, I believe they'd all went for it. Because they could see, they would have been able to see what they were going to get a benefit, direct benefit by setting up that money. But inasmuch as it was interpreted properly so that to get through them, nobody said anything. He died right there. Nobody gave it a support. Well, Francis, he said, well, that died right there and it never come to life. That's what I mean. If we had got behind again, got a younger group together and worked to that kind of planning, instead of just let the government in the office handle our money, throw it right and left like they have done. I brought that up a couple of meetings, what Coney said. That's the best talk that they've ever had because it's based upon observing their money.
Mm-hmm. Where is Coney now?
He lived down in Bishop,
California.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's a bricklayer, or he's mason. He was
Brick mason.
Yeah. Married a girl down there. Married a Paiute girl.
Oh, Paiute girl. I see.
I'm going to tell you, they were up here year before last fall. Last time my wife was able to get lunch, Coney, his wife came here. She cooked for him. We had supper here. They came up here, I believe, with a basketball team. And, we sat right in there after we got through eating. There were times, my wife would feel so good. Maybe we could too. I wanted to go down and up and down. We put in 5 years, and that's one of those days that she's feeling pretty good, happy to see those folks. We had all sat in this field, 4 or 5 of us. Rose, Coney's wife, was a great talker. She liked to talk. She's a well-educated woman. She talked about meetings they had down in. It's the Paiute, one big case. Same guy that prosecuted this case for us. That Barker and those people. Ernest Wilkerson. You know him?
Know who he is. I don't know him personally.
I was instrumental in getting him into this here when I was in committee chairman.
Is that right?
Him and that guy there, Captain Bonnet.
I see.
Anyway, we were sitting around talking. He said, we called a meeting down that road. Said, Indians from all over come. He told us that we had won a case down in California, Nevada, great big case. I think he said the Wilkerson's outfit, Barker and them. The Mormon lawyers, anyway. I know all of them. Didn't know because I worked with them in the early stage, so going about 30 years ago. Nah. He said, there were roads, she's quite a radical. She said, we went to one of the greatest meetings, she said. I think she said in Reno. Before they come up to big meeting. When they found out we were Paiute, won that case, they sent a runner up there. Runners. To talk to them about long-range program. They got big money, so they go up there and see it. So there's a man from Washington, there's a big speaker, and he told a long-range program was needed down there. I said they made it quite a talk. It was an Indian came with him. He's part Indian, I guess. He's mixed blood brother. They're both Washington men, big fellas. They told him what a great things are being done on this long-range program. Then they said, you should go up there too, you and the ORA reservation. See what a great progress they've made, that long-range program. Gosh, wonderful. I just bragged the whole country. Rose said. When they got through, they raised my hand. I told him, well, it just cost the youth $17 million for that long-range program. He said, why shouldn't it be beautiful? See, he said, spend that money. He said, we Paiutes are not going to do that. here. Oh, no. Don't let him go up there and see what's happening. He said, it broke those Indians, you. And she was telling that. She said, that killed that big meeting, I believe. He said, this here fellow that looked like he was part Indian came over to us after it. And he said, it seems though that Rose using this Francis McKinley as been instigator of all this bad movements, you see, setting up that big program. He was one of the directors. I have that report. I'd like to have that someday if you wanted to. How he set up that long-range program. I have it. My daughter used to have Elizabeth when she was a secretary for the affiliated group, and I saved it. I'll let you have it someday and you can look through and see what happened. And it's quite a thing. He was coordinator in that. He was a guy. That's what Rose had mentioned. That he was the guy. Was one of the main guys you met. Well, this year, young fellow followed him outside after the meeting. He said that meeting didn't wind up so good. The Rose said, to give us a chance to use our money the way we want to, let us not do it like it the way you're talking about. This guy is from down there at the Ute Reservation, my husband. He's Ute. I've lived there. I've seen it. Said, I live here at the Bishop. He said, I used to live, but my kids are all grown up on that reservation. That's why I know what I'm talking about. I believe she said 22,000 instead of 17,000. But anyway, this year fellow followed him outside and says, well, he said, you folks appear that you know this Francis McKinley. Sure do. You see, he was the one that the Coney went to down there. You know, that first one, the one that set up that long range, that programming of allowing the families a little of that money to start off with. Yeah, we know him too well, Coney said he did. Okay, he said, right today. He's way down southern part of California today, setting up, attending a meeting. Francis McKinley's down there. Poverty meeting among with those group of Indians way down southern part of California today. Coney said, he need to go back up to the reservation and set up a poverty meeting up there. He says, you know how badly them fellas are hit with their no. Francis, I kind of liked him in a way, but start off wrong foot dead.
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit of comment about it. You were going to tell me about, you remember when you were talking about Saponis?
Yeah.
You were going to tell me how which one of those Indians, those White River Indians you were related to?
Oh, my grandfather was related to Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Back, there were 6 or 7 of those White River men.
Mm-hmm.
And Japanese, one of them. I think Lawrence Appa's father was one of them. But anyway, my old Indian grandpa, he related to these. It seemed like they were all brothers. And he belonged to that group. Because he called him his relation up here.
I see.
He was my grandfather's father or mother was a White River. One of the two, whichever one it was. And he was connected up with these White Rivers. I'm going to tell you a funny little deal on this of Indian medicine man.
Oh, yes.
this had connection. There were some of these here white rivers were the medicine men that practiced medicine. Sing. They don't no more. And when my grandfather was at his, before he passed away, he'd been sick down the old home used to be down there near Marriott. These men came and they doctored him. There were 3 of those white rivers came there. They were, he called them his brothers, could have been his cousins, but close relations. Remember, my wife and I went down there one time. They had tents out there where they were doctored, Indian way of doctoring, medicine men. And I could tell you their names, but it just wouldn't sound right. One of those men was named Satyawijihat. He was a chief of the White Rivers up here, later years. He went down there. And there were a man called Rainbow. He was down there. They were doctoring my grandpa. And now there's another one I can't recall. But they were all brothers. You see, they're related in that together. But they were all down there. I happened, my wife and I went down there. We used to live over to my father-in-law's. We went down there one day. They had sheds built like Indians did in early days, sheds and tents. And they were doctoring this old man. I watched him doctor. Cheers. But the young fellow, whether I believed in it or whether it didn't make any difference, I was at the shit. Anyway, these men doctored my grandfather, these 3 White River members, and at different times they'd been down there, so they claimed it close related to me. They weren't doctoring him because he was related so much for anything, only maybe deeper feelings of their brothers. Indians are so much closer to in their relationship to one another, even if you're a second cousin, or they feel they got more closer contact to you than they were if you even closer, if you even second cousin. Yeah, they recognize you much. That's as near as my grandfather was a white. You see, through them, he used to claim them as whether his father or mother was white, I don't know. See, that's way back.
When they had this medicine, the medicine men, was it mainly a religious thing, or did they use herbs and medicines?
Well, sometimes they used little herbs, but not too much.
It was mainly worship?
Yeah, worship, sing. They pray different ways, I suppose.
Tell me, has the bear dance and the sun dance changed much since you were a boy?
Huh?
Has the bear dance and the sun dance changed a lot since you were a boy? What did they used to do that they don't do now?
The bear dance, I don't recall that changed too much. But the sun dance, way back when I was a boy, I used to come here when I was going to boarding school. These Indians used to wear blankets then. Sheets, long hair. Yeah. I remember when down to Oran when they used to come in, when I was my father and them run the store, they'd come in then. Indians come here, long braids, wear a blanket. And when they dance the sun dance, They used to come in there long hair, They were Indians then. Never, I never recall have you ever seen anybody with a haircut. Oh, long braids. Made a otter hide, road with their
Oh, they're otter hides.
Yeah, they cut those hides and braids. You ever noticed the pictures? Yeah,
I've seen the picture of the fur in there, but I didn't realize it was otter fur.
Yeah, otter hide. They strip them, so they can braid their hair with their ways of fixing that so it won't come off,
I see.
Make it look, that's what look becoming to some people, not all braided, fixed up nice with. And I have seen them have you've hear about Chinamen having queue?
Yeah.
Right on top here?
Right.
Long hair. I've seen these Indians have those like that. They great big silver on your ornament of some kind. Now down here, they have a small otter hide tied down there, hanging down here.
With a single braid going down their back like the Chinese did.
Just one, right on the back.
And ornamented on the head, and then the otter hide hanging down.
Yeah, for part of the way you see this, wrap it up down there. These, the difference between these Indians, the way they fix their hair, which you'll notice a lot of them here, the Banniks and other tribes, they braid their hair down here by the ear. But the youths never, braid that.
Their braids were further back.
Yeah. They never took any of their hair from here, you see, and braided down this way. It's always in the back. Or else to cut it little on top up here, pompadour here.
Wow.
But they used to use that cube right on top. I remember when I was a boy, I remembered one time there was a bunch of those young fellas coming, a big dance. I forgot what kind of a dance. It was down Oran. My uncle used to be quite a leader, and he was a big, tall fella. Yeah. Good strapping fella. Doris wore his hair long. One guy come in there when I'd been up to boarding school. I never get to see much of those things, but these young fellas do, They're older fellas than me. I was just a boy. But I do remember this. These guys come in the teepee. They was having a big dance there. I could have been bad at, but it was at Doris. And these young fellas, all friends, they're cleaned up, for the dance. They took that, one of them had a stick about that long, sharpened on the end. The other one that's coming in, they take that they said they're curious, to doing that, to making an opening, for that on top, the head.
Yeah.
That's what that stick was for. You see? Just working away, and the whole list,
Well,
that's where they start that thing from, the one that goes down.
Yeah, the braid, huh?
Yeah, the one on top goes down.
For heaven's sake.
Yeah, Edgar used to be quite a guy for that too. This Marriott lived down, you know him? His father, he's a big tall fella. He used to always wear them things.
Is he dead now?
Yeah.
The old Mr. Marriott?
He was my wife said he was the only true Ute from over this part come from old Thistle Valley, whatever they call it. Most of those Indians that came in here, early days, 65, were not Utes, but mostly Western Shoshones.
Uh-huh.
And very few Utes. And this here he was a Ute. There were very few Utes. Yeah, they're different.
They came from that family, from the
Yeah.
Thistle Valley group, huh? The Marriott family.
Yeah.
I wonder if their name comes from a French trapper. Marriott. Sounds French, doesn't it?
Yeah. That story we read about trappers. You ever read those Western magazines?
Not much.
Gosh, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of them stories in there.
Is that right? Yeah.
I have piles of them.
Is that right?
I'll look someday and dig some out and look at them and see those trappers who what really did in the early days.
Is that right? I've used the fur trapper histories quite a bit, you know, at the university. I've studied them, you know, the history of old Robideau Fort over here and Fort Bridger and so on.
That's why they made those squaws out over the mountain. And that's what a lot of those, one book I had one time told of early trappers in the Marriott got them squaws, and they had a lot of those kids. They used to be Lord's boys, fellas named Lords, and I used to know quite a few of those mixed blood boys that used to ride when I was young fella.
Was that right?
Yeah. Used to go over in
You
there.
say their last name was Large?
Yeah. They up on Fort Washakie now, in the road up there. Most of them are Large. Different bands that live. That's how they got into the trappers' sons, daughters. That's where Jim Reed come from. See, over the mountain.
He was trapper, son of a trapper, and an Indian woman. Huh? I see. Yeah,
you know, this is country. You know, I never was up in this country. I've always been down below until I started working for the government from 1926 or 1922.
Mm-hmm. Who was the leader of the Indians when you were a kid down to Oran? Who was the leading Indians?
Chavano.
Chavano.
He was.
Did he live down there?
Yeah, Francis McKinley's grandfather.
I see. Who else down there?
He was a chief, old man chap.
Now you say Mrs. Powini down there is related to you?
Yes, she's my half sister.
Now was her father-in-law one of the leaders, old Powini? Do you remember old Powini?
I remembered him, but I don't know why. He evidently came from the southern Utes.
I see. Mm-hmm.
That's why he claimed he come from the Colorado Utes. The mother band.
Yeah. You remember Red Moon?
Yeah. Remember him when I was a boy.
Was he a chief?
If he wasn't, he was a big man.
Is that right?
Yeah, I just was a kid about 12, I guess, when I used to see him down there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and our Reeve was a leader, councilman. There was a fellow named Wyasket.
Mm-hmm.
Francis, what do you call it?
Francis Wyasket, grandfather?
Yeah.
And he had only one name, the one name Wyasket, rather than two names, huh?
Captain Wyasket.
Well, they called him
I don't
Captain
know which
Wyasket.
one. I don't know which one is one, Captain Wyasket. Chavano and Wyasket could be brothers, but they were close related. Mm-hmm. As Francis Kinley's grandfather, and those others, they were close to either brothers or.
When you were a boy down to Oran, did the old fur trappers' log cabin, was it still there, the one the old fur trappers had used?
Down to Oran?
Yeah.
I don't know. In that magazine, there's a picture of one of them. I don't know which of those. They changed them around a little bit. There's one or two buildings down there still stand. I don't know which one, but they've got new buildings, new small buildings down there now. They did have one or two in there. That picture that somebody was using down there, still using it. Ure.
Mm-hmm. Ure. What does it mean in you?
Just a name, I guess.
Just a name, huh?
Ure.
I heard someone on the southern reservation say it could mean arrow.
I've heard that too, but for how that could be, I don't know. Arrow.
Do you know how to say arrow in Ute?
Ooh. She's a different name.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. I see. Ooh is arrow, huh?
Yeah. Ooh. Arrow. But it don't sound like arrow.
Doesn't sound like Ure, does it?
No.
Huh.
Ure, the pronunciation in the Ore to some Indian people is Ure, not Ore, but Ure. It has a different sound in there. Ure, Ure Harab. When they talk about him, I said, Ore, man, Ure Harab. He wasn't a youth, or he was a half Apache. Yeah.
And trained, worked in New Mexico, spoke Spanish, huh?
Yeah.
I heard so.
Yes, sure. You know, one young guy, my stepfather, you know, the one I tell you about, before my mother died, they used to go down into Colorado, mostly up to Mount Rose country to visit up there. And they visited a man up there by the name of Monahan. He's dead now. He's attorney, he's lawyer. And one time after my mother died, this young guy married Maggie Utt. I remembered her well because they lived up Bitter Creek then. That's way up there. And they used to, those Indians, they had a little place up there. You ever been up Bitter Creek? They had quite a little valley up there one time. And Lon Jinx's outfit lived up there. And then these Sarawaks. And these Indians that lived more or less to themselves, they had this little valley they lived in. I think they call it Sweetwater, way up there. And from there, they used to go over the mountain when they every 4th of July to Fruita or Grand Junction to the celebrations. They had race horses. And my stepfather had some race horses. But I went over there one time when I was a boy, and I rode, I jockeyed for him. And from over in that country. And after my mother died, I married this year, married another one this year, they still used to go over there. And he said to me, it's the reason I'm bringing this up, I've wondered about that. He said, Old Ray had a gold mine up in the mountains. Chief Oran. And there's a man took my stepfather up there. Later years, that's before my stepfather died, took him up there to show him. After Oran died, that mine had never worked, but this is a mine that has been operating, and look, the way he talked, that for his benefit. No, that was his mine. You raised mine. That's close up there near Uray, where they call you. He said these fellas used to go up there and get this ore for Uray. That was what they called it. And my stepfather went up there with this here man, and he told him this is the place. But they could work it whenever they wanted. Must have been rich, and that's what used to keep Oran with plenty of money. And my stepfather said, well, he knew where it was, but I guess he didn't know. That guy wanted to get somebody interested enough to get him. And I've often wondered what it ever become. Of course, my stepfather died. Don't know which mine it was. But Uray, my stepfather, they call that place Uray. The mines. There's a little town way up the foot of the mountain called Uray.
Oh, in Colorado?
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Well, that's where this is supposed to be now.
I see.
And these Indians, my stepfather and them used to go to Mount Road to visit this year. Monahan.
The lawyer, huh?
He's dead now. Well, you ready to go?
Yes, I think so. Thank you very much.